Welcome to the Fit Firm Coaching Podcast, the podcast where we explore different topics on fitness and wellness to help you be a better you. Now let's get started with your host, Taylor.
Hey there, and welcome to the Fit Firm Podcast. My name is Taylor. I own and operate Fit Firm Coaching. Fit Firm Coaching is a coaching solution for women who are looking to achieve their best self, who currently work a 9-to-5, work a 40-hour work week. My goal of Fit Firm Coaching is to help these women achieve their best self through fitness, nutrition, and accountability. I decided that I wanted to start the Fit Firm Podcast to talk about things within the fitness industry, tips and tricks on how you can achieve your best self. I'd like to bring on some individuals to talk about their experiences, their expertise, to bring knowledge to this community. So I'm looking forward to recording many more podcasts, bring you a ton of information. Hopefully it helps you along the way in your fitness journey. In this podcast, I want to talk about self-care. This is something that I have just started to really implement into my personal life. I'm always the type of person where it's head down, do your work, keep grinding. So what? Doesn't matter how you feel, suck it up. Keep moving forward. I don't really talk about things that go on in my personal life, but 2024 has been a bit of a rough year for me. This is also why I started Fit Firm Coaching, but we can get into that a little later. 2024, I was planning on competing in another bikini competition. This was my path to winning a show and then competing for a pro card. So I was all in on that. Looking forward to playing a ton of slow pitch softball. I play a lot of softball within the community here, pretty high level. Played since I was 5 years old, so it's always something I enjoy doing. So I had that track along with the fitness track that I was really looking forward to in 2024. However, in February, I tore my ACL in my left knee. This is now the 5th knee surgery I've had to go through. So this was out of the blue, unexpected. Didn't think I would ever tear anything again, but fate had other plans. So I had surgery in April. I'm on my path for rehab, which has been going fantastic. But just the compounding effects of different things that have happened with my physical state, my mental state, been working a lot, trying to get this business set up. It kind of all culminated to a point where I started to have panic attacks, increased anxiety, and this is something I've never had in the past. So I didn't know what it was at first. I thought maybe I'm dying, but it turns out to be panic attacks. So I've had to take a step back and put myself first and prioritize my not only physical health, but my mental health. And the mental side is something that I typically would never have prioritized, because if you're physically fit, I thought you can get through anything, but that is not the case. So I've been taking steps in order to prioritize my mental health and actually start taking care of my mental health. So what I'd like to talk about today is how you can incorporate these self-care steps so you don't have the same fatigue and mental burnout that I've been going through the past couple months. The first thing is, no one cares about you as much as yourself. You have to put yourself first, in layman's terms. So if you don't take care of yourself, who else is going to take care of you for you? That's what I'm saying. So what does that mean? It means maybe setting aside 30 minutes out of the day to do something that you enjoy, that takes your mind off of whether it's work, family, you name it. It's 30 minutes of you time. And that 30 minutes of you time could be, I'm just going for a walk and I'm putting on a podcast and I'm zoning out, and it's my time not to think about anything else that's happened throughout the day. It could be your gym time. My personal time throughout the day is always going to the gym. That is my me time. That is my decompression time. That is, I don't think about anything else except getting my workout in. And that helps me. It could be anything you want. It's just something where if you are prioritizing yourself, there's no distractions, and you are taking care of your mental state. A lot of people have, self-care days where I go to the spa or, I sit by the pool all day, and that's great. But that is more of the physical aspect of it. But are you really taking care of your mental state doing those things? And maybe you are, and that's great. But self-care is as much mental as it is physical. The second point is, how do you even schedule these things throughout the day? How do I remember to do them with everything else going on in my life? Well, if you're like me, I have a schedule, right? We have work meetings and deadlines. Put it on your schedule. You can set 30 minutes in the morning, in the evening. If you have Google Calendars, if you have Apple, you can put it on the calendars. Set a reminder. This 30 minutes is my time to prioritize myself. If you do that every day, it becomes a habit. And in turn, those habits are daily deposits for making yourself better. And I say that when it comes to fitness, whether it's accountability to yourself, making daily deposits for yourself helps you get better in the long run. So maybe 30 minutes, but that 30 minutes compounds over weeks, over months, and over years. So it's super important that you find a way to carve out time for you to focus on not only your physical health, but your mental health. It's good we live in a day where technology is within everything we do. I've used Apple Watches, I've used Fitbits. Besides that, you can set in the apps that I need to set my self-care routine for myself. And those apps will alert you. So that's another great way of scheduling out some time for yourself to take care of you. The other piece of self-help, which is something that I've also started to explore, and I didn't think I ever would just because of how I am, but I realized it's kind of important, is to talk to someone. Now, talking to someone could be a close friend, it could be a spouse, or it could be a therapist. In my case, I've started to talk to a therapist, and it's helped. It's made me recognize some of my habits and how I talk to myself, and how I'm pretty mean to myself. And I bet you a lot of you are, saying negative things about yourself. You're not good enough. How do you look like that in the mirror? All the negative talk you could possibly imagine. I'm sure many of you have experienced it, but it's good to get an outsider's opinion on what's going on with your mental state, as long as your physical state. How do you talk to yourself? What other things are going on in your life? And how we can get you on a path for a better mental state and making sure you're taking care of yourself first before anyone else. It's not always the most comfortable thing to do, but I think, at least in my opinion, as you start to do it more, you definitely feel better. You definitely get insights that you didn't think you would have. And in my opinion, it's kind of good to let things out that, I've just put my head down and kept rolling through. So I think if you have that ability to talk to someone, it may be beneficial to do so. Another piece of self-care is that self-care is not selfish. Do not feel guilty to put yourself first for at minimum 30 minutes a day, especially if you have a family, you have other responsibilities, people want your time and your energy, but don't feel guilty about putting yourself first for at least 30 minutes a day. You need to be there for your family, your friends, your work, whatever you have going on. It's important for you to put yourself first so you can be there for others. So never feel guilty about doing something that's going to help you mentally along with physically. The last thing I'll say about self-care is that it's not weak to take care of yourself first. Like I said, I'm extremely hard-headed. Head down to the ground, let's work. I feel a certain type of way. Just keep moving forward. It'll go away. Just put it in the back of your head. You'll figure it out. But that's not the way it should be. You can still be a strong person and still take care of yourself. Like I've said, you are the most important person to you. You have to be. You have to take care of yourself to take care of the others that you love. So it's not weak if you have a routine that just focuses on you. If you have to talk to someone about some things going on and how to navigate through them, that is not weak at all. And I know that there's this stigma and misconception that if you talk to someone about your issues and prioritizing yourself, it's weak, but it's not by any stretch of the imagination. You need to be there to take care of others around you. So it's important that you take care of yourself first. So with that being said, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about as far as self-help, prioritizing yourself first to take care of others. This is the first of, I hope, many podcasts where I talk about a variety of fitness tips, health tips, wellness tips. So I hope that you enjoy this episode. Be sure to follow the Fit Firm podcast. I'm looking to put out new podcasts weekly. Share this podcast if it had some value to you. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at fitfirmcoaching. I'm also on Facebook as well at fitfirmcoaching, and on YouTube at fitfirmcoaching. So stay well, take care of yourself, and we'll talk again soon.